Sandy, I'm going to turn on your microphone so that you can do the roll call.
Revis.
Here.
Balich.
Here.
Freeman.
Present.
Hickey.
Here.
Oxley. Winfrey. Trinier.
Yes.
We have a quorum.
Okie doke. First up is the approval of minutes from the November 4th Public Works and Transportation. Can I have a motion?
Second Hickey.
Motion Freeman, second Hickey. Can we do a roll call, please, Sandy?
Sure. Revis.
Here. Or yes.
Balich.
Yes.
Freeman.
Yes.
Hickey.
Yes.
Trinier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Public comment. We'd love to have some public comment. Can you drag somebody out of the hall? Seeing no public comment. Any old business that anybody wants to talk about? Nope, I don't have anything. New business, number 1, 25-3640, intergovernmental agreement for paratransit service. Elaine Bottomley, does anybody have any questions for Elaine? I don't really have any. That we do this every year, or I believe we're going to do this every year. It's just our agreement with PACE that we're running this mobility project, if I read all my notes correctly.
Was there supposed to be an attachment?
Oh. I think I read the attachment. Yeah, the resolution. It did talk about some other thing that maybe was supposed to be attached, and I forget where the phrase was, but then I realized this is just between us and PACE.
Yeah, it said in there.
Yeah.
Attachment A.
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit
and
A.
I couldn't find
And
Exhibit
there
A.
was no attachment.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's the contract that we actually do. sign.
So,
It was not there.
yeah, full transparency. I know that, PACE, like all good government agencies, sometimes takes a little bit longer than expected. And I do know that I did receive the IGA from PACE well after the deadline for board submission. I believe I forwarded on to board staff, so I think it just probably didn't make it up on the agenda, but, I know it's not helpful to go over a document you guys don't currently have access to, but I would be more than happy to give
Standard,
a
it's
high level
boilerplate.
overview of
We do
it.
it every year.
Yeah.
You had everything else there. I was just curious what it was.
Yeah, it's absolutely the boilerplate language. There's a couple of quick changes from it, and I know, again,
If you
Not
just want to
helpful.
mention the changes, that's
Um,
fine.
there is a slight change in hours of service. So we're starting about an hour earlier in the day, which is great, right? We've heard this from residents. So PACE agreed to that. The other change that we have is the consolidation to a countywide service.
Mhm.
So within the IGA, it showcases that we will now provide rides to all seniors, all residents with disabilities that live within Will County. It's the same service area, right? It's the same being able to go into Southern Cook County. It's the same mile outside the county border. But it straight up says every senior, every resident with disability within Will County.
How can we do that if we don't have IGAs yet with Wheatland and DuPage?
So we don't have an official IGA with Wheatland or DuPage because we don't have to have an IGA with them. What happened is with Wheatland and DuPage, they agreed to come into our program. So they signed off and they sent a letter to PACE saying, hello, we're no longer going to be operating our service. Will County through Access Will County is going to be taking over. And this leads a perfect segue into the next major change. It states we're going to pass along our PACE subsidy that we've historically received and give it to Will County. So the other big change that's within the IGA is a substantial increase in the subsidy and funds that PACE gives us to operate the program. I don't remember the exact amount of increase off the top of my head, but I do know that our PACE subsidy comparison, Colin went through and looked at what we've historically received and what we're going to be receiving moving forward. And this includes consolidation of subsidies from Central Will County. It includes a subsidy from DuPage Township. It means that, here we go, I have it pulled up. Our PACE subsidy that we are going to be receiving for operating from PACE for 2026 is going to be $1.3 million.
Does anybody have any interest in maybe postponing this? I mean, they're already late with it, just so you can look
I
at the
do.
document.
I do.
I mean, I would.
If, so
think
if we
might wanna-
postpone this, my request is that we do have to end up voting for this because if we do not vote on this and approve it, there's no operation on January 1st. So it does need to be voted on this.
Okay, it
month.
does have to be passed in
Yeah.
December. Yeah, I think maybe move it to executive.
Yeah, I'd be more than
so
happy
you have
to
chance
talk a little
look
bit more
at it.
about it in
I just want to be
executive.
fair to everybody. We didn't get the document. When I saw that, I
Mhm.
honestly just thought it was our same boilerplate one from last year, nothing any
Yeah.
different. Now you're explaining
It's
there are
primarily the
differences.
same boilerplate language. It's the same concept, right? There's just like the three key differences of increased pay subsidy, making sure that it covers our entire service area and a small expansion in service hours.
So it does bring up questions for me with the central will one.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be 0, 20,
Correct.
20, 20, 20, right?
Mhm.
5 years before the entire project became our expenditure, I believe.
Yep.
And you're saying that it brings all of their pay subsidies in. How can we be getting Central Will's pay subsidy if we're not contributing?
Yeah, I would.
It's all kind of murky to me.
Yeah, more than happy to explain that. So for Central Will is the only entity that we have the agreement with
5-year agreement.
over
with.
5 years for the funding. So think of it like a grant, right? So we are going to go ahead and operate Access Will County countywide. And once we get all of our ridership data, once we get the costs, Colin, our mobility manager, is going to go in and do the billing. So we are going to pay up front. We'll go ahead, we'll utilize the grant funds, we'll utilize the pay subsidy. Colin will figure out the ridership, and then we will be sending a bill to our Central Will Township and City partner.
For 100% this first year.
Correct.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a little clearer. I still thought because we did the vote on bringing Central Will in, that
Yeah.
there would be a vote to bring in DuPage and Wheatland, and you're explaining that that's not happening.
Correct. So they are just automatically going to be coming in.
Mr. Ballage. You got to push your button.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah. I just have one question.
Yeah.
The subsidies,
Mm-hmm.
if they go away or get cut, does the money come from us then?
I would say yes. I mean, at this point, we have the locked-in agreement for the subsidies for this year. We have historically always received them in a hypothetical situation, and really hypothetical situation. If the pay subsidy money went away, we would have to find other funds to operate the program or make
The reason I
changes.
ask is because everything to do with Chicago and transit is in flux because they're broke.
So PACE doesn't typically operate much in Chicago. So PACE is,
They got the rail and they got, I.
so
get it.
PACE is just buses.
How is that in there?
Right,
So our agreement
they
with
have-
PACE.
What I'm getting at is the company as a whole,
Oh, it's there?
they could at one point.
I didn't see
not
it this morning.
Have the money to give it.
Okay.
So you're like, I'm just throwing it out. 'cause
Right.
We need to prepare if something goes wrong. I mean, I got no problem with this thing.
Right.
Totally different.
The subsidies that were going to the townships, the
Mhm.
townships got
It
them,
wasn't
and
there.
then they use them to pay.
Mhm.
And it's gonna go in reverse. That's all. It's going to the
Now I
county.
gotta
Correct.
get back to.
And the people still get the service and that's important. But what happens if the subsidies stop? Because it's like grants or anything.
Right.
There's a point when it could stop. And when it stops, does the county have to go out and raise property taxes to cover this or? is it-
That would ultimately be a decision up to this body. That'd
So
be a
we-
decision up to the county
I mean,
board.
you don't have a plan in case that happens. Say they cut it by 25%. Then
So
we'd have to come out of our levy.
we would have to find, so again, this is a hypothetical situation.
Yeah, it's
and-
not.
Right, it's not,
it's
It's in the last
probably
month.
unlikely,
It's all in the
right?
meeting
yeah,
minutes.
so.
But I'm
if-
just asking, is it I know it's unlikely, but at the same time, the question needs to be addressed.
She can't address that. She doesn't know what a future board's gonna do.
Thank you.
And we did discuss this ad nauseum at the last meeting, so I'm
No,
gonna
what I'm
end this
getting at-
discussion.
Jackie, what I'm getting at is that
The same thing you got at last month, that the
it's the
taxpayers
same,
would have
it's
to
the
pick it
same
up.
question I've had each
Mhm.
time. At what point does, how, the county is trying to cut taxes. Our governor said we should cut 4%.
No, the governor did not tell us to cut
That's the
4%.
stuff I read.
That's,
We
that's,
read different things, so whatever, it don't matter. But the bottom line is, if they cut the subsidies, if they did, the money to pay for this would come from the taxpayers in Will County on their property tax,
Answer that
correct?
question.
I mean, that would not be my, and I'm,
No, I mean,
I'm not trying to be cute with an
I'm
answer
not-
here.
I'm not trying to
I'm
give you a hard
genuinely,
time.
no,
I'm
and
just trying to-
I recognize it, Member Ballard.
What-
I'm trying to
what-
give you an answer,
Yeah.
please. What I'm saying is I as staff, I am a staff member. I can't
disappeared
predict
on.
what you guys, what the
No.
board would want to do. I understand. So
But
there would be a,
also we-
there would be a
The
decision
question
point.
is, where else
We'll
do we get the
eventually
money
get used to
besides
this.
property tax?
There are opportunities we could look at grants. We have a great relationship with PACE. So in a hypothetical situation, if this was going to happen, PACE would come forward, we'd have a conversation. This board would be able to make a decision about what happens. Do we try to find grants?
The
They're
board,
grants
any
available.
board, couldn't, you could all be
Correct.
dead and gone. Elaine could be dead and gone.
I could.
We don't know when or if this would ever happen. Not wishing any
Mhm.
death on anybody, well, maybe not, but maybe the boogeyman. But at any rate, you can't decide today what might happen in the future for a hypothetical. You just can't, because you don't know who's going to be in the chairs. Yes.
While I agree with that, and I, appreciate how you're going through this because we didn't have the IGA, now we have it. So that's really, I thought it was good to kind of hold and keep the discussion going. But Member Ballard just bring up a good point, though. I understand we can't predict for future boards, but part of our job is to be forward looking and determine what our backup plans are going to be if something like that happens. The scenario that he's pitching, if the feds take away some of this money underneath the Department of Transportation grant, couldn't that jeopardize this whole, it would be a major issue with our structure here that would leave the burden on the taxpayer. So what are some of our backup plans in the event that that does happen? Because it's a possibility, right? Anything is. I don't think that is going to be the case, but what if, I mean, it's a serious what if that we have to consider before voting on this.
Member Revis, I would just say that what if wouldn't apply just to Will County because again, we're the last collar county to do this process.
Mhm.
So Lake County would be facing this, DuPage County would be facing this. I can't remember if Kane has it.
Correct.
Kane County would be facing this. So we would have other counties to look to in terms of, okay, what are we all going to do? Are we just going to stop the service? And it
Yeah.
wouldn't just stop in Will County. It would stop everywhere. So
And for the record, I am a major proponent of this. You remember how the vote went?
Yeah.
I think I was one of the decider votes because I know all the Republicans voted against it, right? So, but that being said, maybe it seemed, and I know Colin walked in the room. Hey, Colin. But my thought would be maybe if you guys could think on some alternative revenue streams in the event that something does go amok with the program as it is now, that could look like maybe increasing the cost for the users, and that's a valid way to raise money, especially if it's popular and people want to use it. And if we could get it at a price point that is competitive compared to like Uber and all the other things. So just a thought to throw it out there to help
well,
with the revenue of the
I
program.
think that's what the future board's responsibility would be when or if something like this would happen. And again, she could present 15 scenarios on how we would fund this. But it's not a problem yet. It's-
Sure,
We
sure.
don't, we're searching for a problem.
Yeah, I'm trying,
Exactly.
and I'm just trying to be that next generation of government that looks at the problem before it happens and says, what are our canned possible solutions that we can look into? I know Colin and Elaine are both very bright, and I'm just encouraging them to look at those solutions prior to those problems happening that
And-
are very real.
Member Revis, I want to say thank you for that. I think that what you're saying is accurate, right? Making sure that we have diverse funding solutions and options to fund this program is really critical. And to really draw back a couple of years, a conversation statements that I've made to this board, and I'll make them again. It's a lot easier to apply for additional grant funds with a countywide system. So the fact that we are going countywide, this opens up some additional doors. This opens up some additional funding opportunities that we're going to start looking at. So I hear you. I hear the concerns. It's hard to predict accurately what's going to happen, but as we can try as much as we can possibly to be competitive in grant applications and really diversify our funding sources to help reduce the burden on our taxpayers here in Will County, we're going to try to do that. But again, any grant funds we receive do require a local match. So that's a part of it as well.
And this just came up in my head when you were saying that, not that I wasn't listening to what you were saying, but could, as it is, this is obviously for disabled and seniors.
Correct.
So is there a way to open up the program for individuals who just want to take public transportation, you know, that don't fall in the designation of someone who is, you know, disabled and needs a
If
paratransit?
that is something that there's interest in doing, and if there was funding allocated towards it, PACE is open to those conversations. So, pardon me.
Yeah, I think she.
Other,
mentioned that
other
before.
counties have different parameters. So, McHenry County allows anyone to take their program, anyone. They don't even have to be a resident of McHenry County. You can go ahead, you can call the number, you can get a ride. And that's a decision that their board made,
So,
right?
so at risk of sounding silly here, is there a way to, and I don't know if this is allowed, so, you know, if this has to, it might sound stupid, I don't know. But could individuals who don't fall underneath the paratransit disabled designation, those individuals that we cover now, could, like the everyday guy who wants to take public transportation, is there a way to have, you know, his fare be a different rate than the individuals that we subsidize it with for paratransit? Is that allowed?
Yeah, that would absolutely be allowed. Again, this IGA that we have in front of you is just for seniors and residents living with a disability. But in the future, if we were to open it up, if we were to allow anyone to take it to go to school, to go to work, we would be able to apply a different fare structure.
Okay, thanks.
Member Williams, you had your light on. No? Member Freeman?
I forgot.
Okay.
Sorry.
Member Balich?
And when you, when the chair, said that the other counties are all doing it and blah, 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 right? Okay, well, that's good. I don't have a problem with this, just so you're clear.
I know.
But what I do look at is the money. So Will County has a higher levy than DuPage County, and DuPage County is bigger than Will County. So you can't go by county to county to county. So when you start talking about, well, where are we going to get the money? Like Mark brought up some good points. We have to have some kind of plan to say, because if a senior or a person that's handicapped is calling us up for a ride, not us dial ride, right? So they call and they get a ride. They're depending on that ride to go to the doctor or go to work or whatever it is. And then we lose the money, and then we either got to cut back or get the money from somewhere. If you cut back, you hurt all those people. That would be a disaster. So we would have to, more than likely, any board would have to find a way to fund it. So it's real simple.
motion.
If we just come up with, how are we going to do this? We're going to take it from reserves. We're going to say, if something happens, we'll fund this from reserves. Or if something happens, we'll fund this from another source. But we can't, you know, you go in there and something happens 5 years from now, a lot of people won't even be here, but the next board goes, oh my God, what do we do? Well, what was the plan originally? And then there'd be, we didn't have a plan. So then we look like numbskulls. We should have a backup. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we should have a backup. That's a very important thing.
Thank you, Mr. Balich, for your suggestion. Member Hickey, did you have a question?
Thank you. I just want to be clear that if any of these scenarios came to pass, that would be an issue for this body, whoever's here, and that they would make that decision. So I'm sure that Ms. Bottomley and, would help us through that with the information that we need. But I think that to continue to ask for a solution to a problem that hasn't yet come about is kind of, I think that we've kind of
Cart before
covered
the
what we
horse?
can. Yeah, we've covered what we can on that. So
Thank you.
Thanks.
Member Freeman?
I was going to ask, do we need a
Yes,
motion
please.
to
Motion to move this to executive so people have time.
Motion
read
to
it
move
over.
this to executive, Freeman.
second, Hickey.
Motion Freeman, second Hickey. Roll call, please.
Discussion. Can we discuss?
You want to
I do
discuss
wanna
moving into
discuss-
executive?
I do,
mean,
I do.
The
The-
movement.
Yeah, the movement. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I just am looking at Elaine's face. Do you want to do that? Or do you think that, what do you think? Is this easier if we were to pass this through this committee right now? Because to be honest, I think I am okay with it after we have it presented
Okay with
in
this.
front of us.
Okay.
But And it looks like
I'm-
Steve is too. I see Steve.
You want to
down.
withdraw your motion? It's
I
fine.
withdraw my motion if we really want to vote on it.
I defer to this body. I'm more than happy to answer any questions
Yeah,
about
we're
this
ready.
here or move to executive or one-on-ones.
Call the roll, on passing, well, actually, you need a regular motion now.
I'll make a motion to,
We have, one.
okay.
Yeah, so just call the roll on approving, item number 2.
Okay.
Item number 1,
Item
sorry,
number 1.
intergovernmental agreement for
thought I'd
paratransit.
misnumbered my paper.
No, I had scrolled a little bit.
Okie dokie. Revis,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
or I'm sorry, Balich. I apologize. I'm wrote in my area.
It's okay.
Freeman, you said yes? as
Yes,
well?
I've said yes.
Hickey
Yes.
and Trinier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, on to number 2, my test of vocabulary execution. Confirming award of contract to various contractors led on November 19th, 2025, countywide maintenance materials, bituminous
Yes.
patching, all county board road districts. Can I get a motion?
Motion Freeman.
Second Hickey.
Motion Freeman, second Hickey. Can I get a previous?
I have a question.
Oh, yes, if there are questions,
Um,
please go ahead.
Are all 4 of these companies getting the awards here? Because that's how I was reading it.
Mhm.
I just wanted to clarify, make sure I was right. Because then the next one, it's a little different, but
I had the same.
I was like, are
Yeah.
they breaking it down?
We have multiple suppliers so that when we need something, we can access it. But Jeff, go ahead.
No, you're correct. This allows us to buy from different areas in the county with different vendors, so we have their price point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cheaper to buy it local rather than haul it. If you remember the
I wanna
wasn't
keep
even
it
gonna
local,
bring up the other
definitely.
conversation. Let me just be quiet. Kelly knew what I was gonna say.
Mhm.
Okay, anything else?
Yeah, so the other ones they're all separate, just a
Yeah,
little
They
bit.
actually had less bidders, so we didn't have as much
Okay,
variety.
because it was like, oh, there are a lot of this, then never mind.
All good?
Good, good,
All
yeah.
right, can I get a previous?
Previous.
Previous ballot? Second Trinier? I don't know. All in favor? Those opposed? All right, motion carries. And item number 3, 25-3616, confirming award of contract to various contractors let on November 19th. Countywide maintenance materials, bituminous prime, all county board districts.
Motion Freeman.
Second Hickey.
Motion Freeman, second Hickey. Can I get a previous ballot?
Second, Revis.
Second Revis. All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 25-3617, confirming award of contract to various contractors led on November 19th, 2025. Countywide maintenance materials, various aggregate, all county board districts.
Freeman.
Second, Revis,
Motion-
discussion.
Second Revis, discussion.
So I see on here that this is from Iroquois Paving Corp. for C6, CA6, right? Or is there 2 types of stones? I'm sorry. Two type of
CA6
Ag, 2 type of ag.
Yes, they only bid on CA6.
Okay. In Watsika, Illinois, we didn't have a Will County bidder for this one?
No,
Really?
no.
So what does the process look like if we were to say, no, on the pretenses that this isn't a Will County bidder, would we go out to bid for this same item or?
Well, if we stay under 30,000 for the total for the year with a different vendor, we can just get a quote from them and go straight there. I don't have to bid it. So
Okay.
it just depends on quantity we need to buy. If I need a
Okay.
lot of quantity, then yes, I'd have to bid it again. But with this, we think we'll be okay.
How many tons of this are we getting?
Let me look.
I'm skimming the
CA6, 10,000 is what we're estimating.
Tons.
10,000 tons.
okay.
Yep.
Now that seems like a lot.
It is.
And doesn't the cost increase when it's coming from Watsika? The biggest expense is like the moving of the stone, right?
Could be a hauling, yes.
The hauling.
They factor
Do
that.
you think it could be cheaper if we would try and get a Will County business to do this? I mean, where's the product going
Well,
to?
if we need something in a different area of the county, we will ask the local one to see what quote
Okay.
they can give us. So yeah, we'll make sure we
Understood.
do our best to get the best.
So
price.
this is just enough to have on stock.
Yeah.
For as needed.
Yep.
I would just like to support a Will County business, but I understand that we're limited to who bids for it. So anyway, thanks.
So you were the second. Any other questions? Can I get a previous roll?
Previous Hickey.
Second.
Previous Hickey, second Balch. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 5, 25-3618, confirming award of contract to Decker Supply, Inc., let on November 19th, 2025, countywide maintenance materials, sign materials, all county board districts. Can I get a motion?
Motion Freeman.
Motion Freeman, second
Hickey.
Hickey, previous Balch.
Discussion. So I noticed on here that this company is in Wisconsin, right? And were they the only bidder for this? I don't know why I don't have the bid history.
Let me see. Should be a summary on the second page.
Oh,
They were the only bidders.
they were the only bidders.
Yes.
Okay. I know that there was that, we were talking about it before the meeting started, the one business in Illinois.
For that material, we
One
also,
in Romeoville, but that,
well, for that material, we also utilize the state bid, a statewide bid. So there may be another bidder there we look at. So we always look at our bid and the state bid and compare.
to see
and-
what the best price is.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't want
But
to
yeah, for some
micromanage.
reason, they were the only bidders on this item.
Got it. All right. I don't want to micromanage too much. I just would feel like it more comfortable if we were, working with Will County, Illinois-based businesses. That's all. So,
It would be nice if we could make them bid.
I know.
Not our purview.
I know.
Are you going to second the previous? All right, would someone else like to second the previous? Yes.
I will
Second, previous motion by Hickey. All those in favor? Those opposed? Anyone opposed? Motion carries. The next item, number 7, 25-3620, adopting IDOT resolution for,
We're on 6.
sorry, I opened it up. Oh, yeah. Confirming, number 6, 25-3619, confirming award of contract to Decker Supply Inc. let on November 19th, 2025, countywide maintenance materials, sheet aluminum side panels, all county board road districts.
Freeman.
Second Hickey.
Previous Balch.
It's the second.
Can I second? I did before. I'm going to do it again. Just, or one of them. Second.
Can we second after we?
Yeah, you can. That I know you can. Second by Freeman. All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Now, number 7, 25-3620, adopting IDOT resolution for improvements by county under the Illinois Highway Code for the countywide maintenance materials, all county board districts using motor fuel tax funds.
Motion Freeman.
Second Hickey.
Previous Balch.
Second, Robert.
Second, Revis. All those in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Okay, motion carries. Number 8, 25-3644, authorizing approval of professional services agreement for design engineering services Phase 1 with Alfred Benish and Company on Wilmington Peatone Road from US Route 4552 to Center Road, Section 25-00116-16-PV, County Board District Number 2. And I believe Mr. Revis has a question, but I'd like to get it on the floor first.
Motion, Revis.
Motion Revis, second Freeman.
This was last I checked, this was a pretty contentious road project in the area for people. There's a lot of emotion around it, kind of like the 143rd Street project. I think there was a public meeting, right? And I think one of the things that like Member Butler was talking about before we get into the Phase 1 was taking into account what was shared at the public meeting and kind of pacing ourselves on the clip at which we move on these projects before they get too far out of hand. And then we got people, very upset with us and the decisions we make. I'm still supportive of the project. I just wanted to know what the perspective was at the public meeting on this. If you,
Were any modifications made? That
Yeah.
would be my question.
yeah.
Well, there was a
Thank you.
variety of comments on that particular whole 16+ mile corridor. There's lots of trucks. So people want no trucks, which can't happen.
I know.
And then people want 5 lanes, which isn't going to be the case either. So there's a wide range. They want to see big improvements. They want to see no improvements. So there was a wide range. Safety, and the biggest thing was probably how to handle the truck traffic. So yeah, we've taken that into account. There's going to be passing lanes through there to allow opportunities to get around some trucks, wide 10-foot shoulders. So we're going to, in our design, as we move it forward, have a lot of safety aspects to make sure the road accommodates all the various modes of traffic through there.
Wide shoulder sounds really good, given the truck traffic.
And there are going to be more public meetings with this particular contract between 45 and Center. Center was where there was the fatalities in that area. It wasn't at the intersection, but so there's fatalities at 52 and 45. We'll get the state involved in that process. Actually, we're going to ask them to help pay for it since that's their intersection. But next month, you'll see how that whole corridor lays out, because I'm going to bring to you my semi-annual update of where all the projects are at, just so you can see the list. And you'll see where this segment fits in with all the other Wilmington Peatone segments. So
And can you just, I guess, foreshadow a little bit for me? Does this particular segment impact like some homeowner land? Are we going to have to eminent?
yeah,
There's so
there
many
aren't
parcels.
too many homes because it's mostly agricultural, but there are some homes that are out there, yes.
Okay.
That would be my concern, because when you go with the wider shoulder, which is obviously with trucks going down there, you need that.
Mhm.
That means we have to get more right of way. And if there are homes along there, that could pose a big problem.
Yeah, most of the homes in that one are set further back, but when we get into the real design, we'll know for sure. But there are a few homes out there.
And I might be totally wrong on this, but if I remember correctly, a lot of these homes are on propane heating, right?
Would be.
Yep. And so does it make sense to try and like talk to the utilities to try and like, get natural gas or like other utilities to these houses in exchange for, the
The
fact that
cost
we're going to take that?
Huge.
Is it?
Huge. Remember the conversation at Forest Preserve about getting just the electric line out to Four Rivers and how expensive? that
Oh,
was
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
be?
yeah.
And it was just one line for one thing. The gas line would probably be just as, probably even more expensive.
The main line would be, from what we've seen, I mean, that's not our business, but it's very expensive.
Yeah.
Just running the main line down the whole corridor would be very expensive. So they would need service people to support doing that.
Mhm,
There's just
like
not enough
there's gonna
service
be a
people to
bunch
do
of,
that.
Subdivisions being built on that road, and they'd have been approved in 10,000.
We don't have any
houses wouldn't even
subdivisions
count.
along that stretch.
I'm sorry, you said
We
what?
don't have any subdivisions along that stretch, so there's just not enough service entities out there that NICOR would be supporting.
You need thousands of homes
Sure.
in order for that to make sense for a utility company.
Yeah, I guess my thought is, and I only bring this up because someone who lives along this road brought this up to me, and this was his idea. And he, is a pretty respected guy, and he's a participant in the Farm Bureau. He owns a lot of land in Will County, and he had brought this up to me. And so my thought would be, does it help attract more, if we were to have a conversation like that with the utility? I don't know if that makes sense, but if there were a main line, would more homes and people want to choose Will County and things like that?
I
or-
think people in that area want to see more homes. They want to see more farms. They don't even like solar out there. I certainly don't think they want to see a bunch of subdivisions and land be taken up by municipalities.
That's what they said about Plainfield, 20, 30 years ago. And now look at Plainfield, there's more.
20,
We
30
farm kids, not corn anymore, so.
20, 30 years from now, there might be an appetite for that, but my guess is it's a little too soon.
Okay, well, I was just thinking about trying to consolidate costs for future boards and things like that, so.
Member Freeman,
So I, believe it or not, drive this road a lot. So I looked to see where it was, and you kind of answered my questions already. You're gonna put in,
Passing
Bigger-
lanes and wider shoulders.
wider shoulders, turn lanes, so there's not gonna be like 4 lanes or,
It is not going to be a multi-lane, 4-lane highway, no.
okay.
The traffic volumes are not that high.
Because there are some areas where there are turn lanes and that helps. And the truck traffic is real. That people are trying to get over to 57 from 55 and it just happens.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
That's all I wanted.
Member Balish.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with this probably, but I want to hear from Member Butler first before I would vote in favor of it. So I'm voting no on it, not because I don't know enough about the project till I talk to Member Butler to see where it's at now. Because before he did have a lot of problems with it. But I think some of those problems are gone, but I want to make sure.
We have a motion and a second, I think. And do we need a previous, you want a roll call, please?
Mhm. Okay, Revis? Balich?
No.
Freeman?
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Trinier.
Yes. Motion carries. Number 9, 25-3652, authorizing approval of professional services supplemental for agreement for right-of-way acquisition services appraisals with Hampton, Lenzini, and Renwick, Inc. for several parcels of property for the Gauger Road over the Canadian National Railroad, County Board District 2.
Motion Revis.
Motion Revis, second Freeman, previous Balich,
Second Revis.
second,
Yeah, we.
Previous would be a 4-1.
yeah,
You still want to be a no vote?
Yeah, so.
you're a yes? Okay, then a roll call, please.
Okie dokie. Revis,
Yes.
Balich,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Trinier.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Number 10, 25-36, authorizing approval of professional services supplemental agreement for right-of-way acquisition services appraisals with Schonkweiler. There's a word I never saw before. Schonkweiler and Schonkweiler appraisers for several parcels of property for the Gauger Road over the Canadian Railroad, County Board District 2.
Motion Revis.
Second Freeman.
Previous ballot.
Motion Revis, second Freeman, previous Balich, second Hickey. All those in favor? Those opposed? Motion carries. Number 11, 25-3655, authorizing approval of professional services supplemental agreement for right-of-way acquisition services, review appraisals with Chicago Metro Realty Valuation Corporation for several parcels of property for the Gauger Road over the Canadian National Railroad, County Board District 2.
Motion Freeman.
Second Revis.
Motion Freeman, second Revis, previous roll Balich,
Second
second
Hickey.
Hickey. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion, all those opposed? Motion carries. And just to be clear, Jeff, these guys just review the appraisals that were done by one of the other companies, right? So
Correct.
we have like a two-step. I want to point this out to people. You know, it's not just a appraisal and that's it.
Yeah, they're well scrutinized and they also go to IDOT for review, so they're they're well scrutinized.
Yep. I just wanted to point that out. Yeah, that's true. Number 12, 25-3671, authorizing an intergovernmental agreement between Village of Peatone and County of Will for placement of license plate reading cameras located on county highways in the County of Will.
Motion Freeman.
Second Hickey.
Motion Freeman, second Hickey. Did we want to discuss this? Okay, previous Balich?
I'll be a no.
Okay, then we're going to do a roll call on this one.
Okay, give me just 1 second here. 30. All right, Revis,
Yes.
Balich,
I'm gonna make a clarifying statement. I don't like flock cameras, but if the village wants to have it, then I have no problem saying, okay. But I would never vote for flock cameras, but if the county wanted to do it, I'll vote no. So I think they're an intrusion on our rights.
If I could just clarify, this would be a renewal of the existing agreement with Peatone, just so you're aware, there's already, they've already have them.
So Ms.
And your
Mr.
vote.
Balich, what's your vote on this?
He's a yes.
Yes.
That's why I said that the village wants it, God bless them, but I don't want it.
I understand.
Freeman,
Yes.
Hickey,
No.
and Trinier.
Yes. Motion carries. Number 13, 25-3672, authorizing approval of the establishment of an extended speed zone 33 along Shanahan Manuka Road, County Highway 32, County Board District 1.
Motion Revis.
Second Freeman.
Motion Revis, second Freeman. A new roll call, please.
Revis,
Yes.
Balich,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Hickey,
Yes.
Trinier.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion carries. Number 14, 25-3676, authorizing approval of the establishment of altered speed zone 712 along Gulfview Drive within Green Garden Township, County Board District 3.
Motion Revis.
Second Freeman.
Motion Revis, second Freeman. Any
Previous Revis.
previous Revis, second Balich. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Okay, that's the end of agenda items for us to vote on. Any other new business anybody would like to talk about? We have a lady here who's stepping forward.
Well, and she's item 2.
Ah, okay. Okay, I don't like how that came out, but we'll get to it. Yes, Director of Transportation discussion. So item number 1 is US Route 6.
Yeah, so I had mentioned this last month, just to give you a heads up on it. It is Thursday, the public meeting for the Route 6 Phase 1 study. The postcards went out. The website is now active, IDOT's website. It's on the postcard. And it's on your notice that's now attached. We didn't have this information last meeting, but just making you re-aware of that
Mhm.
upcoming public meeting. And then moving on to item 2.
Ah, you're the Adopt a Highway Queen?
Yes.
Wow, or
So-
princess. I don't know.
I don't know if Tim, if you might want to bring up that attachment. I was just going to go through that.
I saw there were quite a few vacancies and I know some groups that used to have some.
That's the whole point of this little discussion. So
Can a county board member individually adopt one? Or do we have to be a part of some? sort
I
of
don't
group?
see why not, but I guess that's a question we could flush out. I don't-
The form said group name, so that's why I ask. I mean, I guess my political group would be a group, but yeah, I didn't know. how
That'll be a
that-
great question for our Adopt a Highway Coordinator to find out for you. So this is Hannah Turbin, our Adopt a Highway
I
Coordinator.
need exercise. I need exercise and I am an appointment person. Hit your button and I will turn your mic on. Oh, Hannah, last name?
Turbin, Turbin.
Placed back in 1987, statewide. When he started